Thanks for joining me today. What I'd like to do today is go through a quick rundown of what DOCUTRACK is. And so you get an understanding of what it's all about, and then we'll go through your role in that with addressing and completing the forms. So to get started, DOCUTRACK is a quality system. Again, it's designed to focus on profit, performance, and protection for the dealer. How does it work? We've worked with manufacturers to develop the critical installation points and inspection points for each type of product. We also reviewed industry guidelines, NEMITA guidelines, best practices, and our own risk management and insurance program and loss run data to determine what are the key items and issues with installing this type of product or each type of product that's out there. And we put all of that information into the DOCUTRACK app. So what is the app? It is a tablet program, a tablet app that we developed that walks a technician through an installation and then pushes that information up to the server. It downloads all of the information originally from your CMC based on the RO, pulls that down to a website, which pushes it out to the tablet. And then the tablet walks that tech through that installation. So your technicians will have a tablet in the shop that will walk them through all of that. And it starts off with that vehicle intake inspection. When the vehicle comes in, it allows them to take pictures of that vehicle. There's a bunch of different shots already programmed in, plus they can add additional ones if necessary. And by scrolling through the tablet, there's more options to put pictures in there. But it documents the exact condition of that vehicle when it first hits your dealership. It eliminates some of those issues of a customer coming back saying, hey, you put a dent in my vehicle or scratch in this, or down the road from a legal standpoint, you messed up my hand controls when you put in my tie down. Whereas the technician can document the condition of it when it first came in. The system also allows the technician to enter all of the weight capacities. One of the areas that we've seen is different people were calculating weights different ways, including some things that should be or shouldn't be in there. This coordinates all of that. All the technician needs to do is enter the four corner scales and some basic information like seating position, fuel capacity, how much fuel is in the vehicle, and the system will calculate everything else. It also lets them know when a tire placard is going to be required as well. But this is the real crux of the apps, and that's the critical installation points. By working through those, what we call CIPs, we list out every critical installation point on every type of product. That information is laid out here. There's a sample photo of it for the technician to look at if they want to know how is that really supposed to look. By clicking on that photo, it brings it up full screen so they can see exactly what they're looking at. But the technician then says, well, I need to get this done and here's how it should look. They then click on that line, take a picture of that. It loads that picture. It lets us know who that technician is that did that for later use, and it turns that line green. And they would go through here for all the critical installation points, scroll through and capture every important point of that installation. At the top, if they are available, we have wiring schematics and service manuals available for the technicians. If the manufacturer has a technical service bulletin out on that, again, it pops up right in front of that tech. So all the information they need to perform a quality install is right there in front of them at their fingertips. So they would walk through there, take those pictures. After that, the second technician that goes through the inspection will then go through it and inspect that vehicle. What this does is it brings a lot of standardization to the process. Some people look at one, another look at something else. This allows them to make sure all those important parts are covered, and they just touch the button and it turns it green. So it's a very simple process to go through for the techs. Those reports we talked about, this is an actual copy of the vehicle intake report that can be printed off by you and handed to a customer to say, hey, here's your vehicle, this is the condition of it, we're making sure that we take care of it, and you can lay that report out for them. If ever necessary, the same report can be printed out for all of the critical installation points as well as the inspection points. So you have documentation for the customer if necessary. And again, all that information gets pushed up to the dashboard where you would have access to different jobs and the information that we're going to jump into next. So the key benefits really overall is, number one, it increases the quality of installations. It provides protection against false claims because now you have documentation showing exactly what was done and how it was done. It streamlines the work process by creating forms automatically, especially a lot of the back-end NMITA paperwork is now filled out and submitted with 2 clicks of a button. It serves as an information database for technicians. Techs aren't out there on an island on their own. They now have access to installation photos from dealers all across the country that can be searched by the product that they're putting in, by the vehicle, the year, make, model. A lot of different options allow them to sort and look to see how things should be done and how they are being done out there. Provides audit capabilities for management to make sure that these are done on a regular basis. And it delivers a training platform for service. This also provides you as a CMC some pretty nice sales tools for your customers. You now have and have implemented a quality system beyond anything out there in the industry. And you have documentation then that backs that up. You have technician guidance every step of the way so that tech knows exactly what should be done, how it should be done, and each critical installation point is covered correctly. You have confirmation to the customer that their product, not just overall, but their product was installed right and was installed the first time. You have the documentation, if necessary, that you can hand to the customer, especially like that vehicle intake report. It lets them know you're taking care of their vehicle and you care about their vehicle and what it looks like and the condition it's in. And that all leads to increased customer satisfaction, because problems that could have happened because a grommet wasn't there that created a short that potentially created a fire, now it stops the tech. They have to take a picture of it. They now stop, put it in, and those issues never occur, which you have increased customer satisfaction. That's really a quick rundown of the DOCUTRACK app overall. So what I'd like to do is jump into now the website to cover the things that you're going to be doing. So the website is docutrack.app, docutrack.app. Coming in here, you log in. If you do not yet have a login, your service manager and or general manager can set you up as a user, so you will have access to the system. When you first log in, this is your dashboard. If this, for whatever reason, you're in the system and it's not on that page, it's jobs, open jobs, takes you to all of the open jobs, which is the main dashboard. And down here, it shows open jobs. As you scroll down, it will let you know any of the open jobs and the status of that job. Very important, when you are going to be filling out the forms for the customer, you want to make sure the status is in waiting for customer sign off. There's 4 statuses: waiting for install, which means the pictures have not been taken yet; waiting for inspection, for that second tech to inspect the product; waiting for customer sign off; and waiting for report submission. The report submission is the back end where the service manager is submitting all of the NMITA documentation to Radco. So if that is in customer sign off, great. If it is in inspection or install process, you want to wait till that inspection is complete. So let's jump into the one that's waiting for the customer sign off. This takes you to the customer forms, and if for whatever reason it opens up in job detail, just click on the tab that says customer forms. These are the 3 forms that you will be filling out electronically with the customer. And we're looking to work with some of the dealers to add whatever other forms might be necessary. We have the ability to add whatever else you might need in here. The vehicle intake form will already be green and it will already be completed. There's nothing you need to do with that. That intake form is there. If there are pictures taken from the vehicle that's brought in, they will be here. It's for your use only. It is not something you have to have signed by the customer, but we just have it there to protect the dealership, and then again to use as you see fit. To view it, just click on view and it'll open up that report, or you can wipe this, just wipes it out. You don't really want to do that or reopen. So that's something, again, you can view or you can print, and I'll show you how to print a little bit later on. But the other forms, to start, you would click fill and sign. It will now take all of the information from the tablet and also from the website and your dealer Salesforce, and create now the make an operative form. So it looks at the products that were installed. It will then suggest the make and operatives that apply to that particular product. Any of the areas that are in gray, you have the opportunity to modify. So you can check through here and make sure all the correct check marks are in. Was there a driver modification made? Yes, we put hand controls in. Passenger mod made? No. Required label placed? No, because we didn't put enough weight in it. These areas down here allow you to click in and make whatever edits or additional information that you might want to put in. So again, anything gray, you have the ability to modify. It may come up that there's, say there were hand controls put into a 67 Chevy and didn't have airbags. There weren't any make and operatives that apply. Again, this is a suggestion as to what is recommended based on that type of product put in. If it doesn't apply, again, you just delete it and you're good. If you need to add something, you can add that as well. But again, this is a starting point to bring up pretty much all of the make and operators that would typically apply to the products that are put in there. At the bottom, you have the customer signature. So once the modifications are made, you have two options, three. You can save it and go on to something else if you needed to. And then when you come back, all the information you put in will be there and ready for you. You can print the document for signing for the customer manually, and then you have the ability to upload that document into the system, or you can sign it electronically. So we're going to do a little bit of both here. We're going to start off with signing electronically. Each of your locations have received a Topaz signature pad, and that signature pad is used for this signing. If you need additional ones, talk to your IT and they could get you some additional ones. But this plugs into a PC. This is not tablet based. This is all PC based at this point. But that Topaz signature pad will plug into your PC, and you would use that to do the electronic signing. So by clicking sign electronically, it completes that form. And as you notice now, none of these areas are clickable, so you cannot edit them. So once that form is complete, you'll see a sign button opened up down here. Just click on that. It'll open up a box. Customer can sign that. When you click done, it does a couple things. It date and time stamps that particular form for you. It also creates not only just the image of the signature, but a signature file that goes in and is stored with this document behind the scenes. So from a legal basis, this is a legally binding signature. By using that Topaz signature pad, it has a special stylus that adjusts for different pressures. So it mimics a true signature. So this becomes a valid signature for you. Once signed, click save and back, and it stores all of that information into this form and puts it back into the system for use later. Once that's stored, it opens up the customer forms page again. You'll notice this line is green, and it shows that that job is completed. So now you can go on to the next one. The other two forms, the vehicle delivery receipt and the weight rating form, they work the same way. In this case, when you open it up, again, it'll show you the all the information that you need to get started with this. So any information that was entered into your system, either via the website or coming across from Salesforce, will be entered in here. If you see something that is not entered, then again, you can select it. So the type of chassis, the customer information, going through with the customer, yes, they got their keys, yes, they had their remotes, their manuals, all of these, put the check marks in. It will list the types of products, so hand controls were installed. It will also provide the maintenance schedule. If that needed to be adjusted in any way, again, just like before, you just click on the link and you can make whatever adjustments that you need to make in the gray. Same thing going down here. Hand controls installed, yes, they were in the driver position. The technician, this comes from the vehicle information form from the technician. That gets filled out by them typically. If not, again, you can make changes as necessary. Customer advised of load carrying capacity. And again, just going through and looking at anything gray to see if that needs to be checked or not. Now in the vehicle delivery receipt, it has the client initials here and also an opportunity for the customer and the salesperson signatures down at the bottom. So once done, you would select again, sign electronically, and we'd go through that same process of signing. It creates a completed document, which eliminates the opportunity to modify it. As you notice, you can't make any modifications. and it will put signature boxes in everywhere we need a signature. In this case, the customer initials are needed here, the customer signature, and the CMC signature down here. Again, by clicking in any of those boxes, it brings up the signature pad, sign, click done, and you're good to go. So it'll store that and those initials in there. It will then, again, it stores all of the back-end data in it as well. Those initials are in, and now you can go on to the next signature box. Click on there, and then also you have the ability to sign as well. At any point in the process, you can save that document and jump back. And in this case, when we save it, it will store everything that is in that document right now, takes us back to that customer form, and it lets us know that that document is still ready for signing. So it's not completed, it has been started, but it has not yet been finished. If you wanted to print it, you could, and then upload that, or you could jump back in and sign it by clicking the sign button. So it gives you different choices. If for whatever reason you said, that one's messed up, I want to start over, by hitting start over, it'll wipe that out. All of the information that you have entered will be gone, and it allows you then to re-sign or refill out and re-sign that document. So let's look at the last one, the vehicle weight rating. We're going to print that and upload that manually. So there may be a situation where you are delivering, either the signature pad is not available, somebody else is using that office, or you are delivering this to the customer at their home and you don't have your computer with you. You have the ability then to print all of those forms with the rest of your forms, have them signed, and then upload them later. So it brings up the form, their signature places, but in this case, we're just going to hit print for signing. It'll now lock that form, and it'll create a document that you can just, it's a PDF that you can print off and take out to the customer and have the customer sign. So once signed, we're back in here, and I can click upload for signing. It puts in the name already. I can select the files, and I'm going to select this DOCUTRACK wait form. And upload. So now it lets me know that I've uploaded that form. It is completed, and if I want to view it, I can click on view and look at that particular form, as you can with any of the forms that have the view item on there. We can pull it up and see the signatures and make sure everything is done. Back to the wait forms ending, the same thing here. I can upload the printed, or I can go back in and re-sign. I'm not going to walk through all of that, but I wanted to show you the ability to print and or send. So up in here, you have two choices. You can either email the documents, or you can print all the documents. First, you would select what you want to print or sign, or select the all button, and it checks all of the boxes. In this case, I'm not going to do the vehicle intake, so I can uncheck that. At that point, if I hit the email, I can now, it'll pull up the customer's email address that's in the system. If I need to change it, I can go in here and change it. It'll pull up a basic message, but again, I can make whatever modifications, but just by clicking in here, click OK, it now emails a PDF of all of those forms to that email address. If you need to send something to third-party sites, it'll do the same thing. It'll email those forms directly to them. If I want to print them, again, I have the ability just to hit the print button. It now creates documents, PDF of each of those forms, and now I can go through and print. Now, as you notice, this one wasn't signed. We never got to sign it, but it's going to print the form that's in there and any modifications that you made. Okay. I can print this right here off of my computer, save it to a document, or hand it to the customer, or again, email it, whichever way. You also have the ability to upload other documents. There are requirements sometimes for a driver's license, for a vehicle evaluation, for a letter, training certificate. All of those documents can be stored with each particular job. What you would do is just select upload other document, name the document, select the file. So I'm going to select the driver's license and select upload. It now uploads that document into this system. If I ever needed to delete it, I can. If I want to view it, again, I can do that as well. And it'll open up that, that document for me. Again, that's something that can be emailed or printed off and sent to whomever you need to send that to. So whatever documents you need to upload, you can upload that, name them, and now you have those documents stored with that job. So from the CMC standpoint and filling out the forms, that's really all that is required. If you have any questions, I noticed there were a couple questions here, so I'm going to take a look at those. Are we supposed to print and keep hard copies in the customer files? That is an internal question. At this point, all of these documents are stored, they are on the server, and they are backed up. So you don't have to worry about losing them. I personally don't see a need to print those and keep a separate copy of them, since you do have that at your fingertips anytime you need it. Those copies are here and available anytime you want. Says, are you saying that the CMC is putting info on these forms, or are these completed before we sit down for signature? It's likely to be a combination of both. The system will enter all of the information that it has. If there's something that did not come over either from the tablet, from the website service manager entering that, or from the job, it obviously isn't going to show. The more information you put on the front end, the less information you'll have to enter here. For instance, let's look at the vehicle delivery receipt for a quick second. There's a lot of information on the vehicle delivery receipt that can come over from your own system if it's put in there. For instance, the type of chassis, is it new, used? Obviously all the vehicle information and mileage needs to be in there, but you're also getting into things like who the driving evaluator is. That all prints out. So if you're entering the driver evaluator name and information, it will be here. If you're entering the information about the where the hand controls are, it will pull over. So the more you enter on your system, the more will be in here. But if it's not there, you have the opportunity to put it in. So once you pull this up, you have the opportunity to start. So you would start and sign, or if it's already been started and completed, you can view and then print those documents. So I'm going to jump down here to the weight rating form, and I am going to start over. So when you first open this up, all of them will be in this fill sign status. Click the fill sign. It'll open up the document. You would then make whatever modifications you need to make on that document. So if there's on the weight form, there's nothing to be added, but you can make whatever modifications in the gray spots on the other documents, and you would select print for signing. That now jumps you back to the customer forms tab. Well, I'm sorry, it opens up the form so you can print it. Obviously, you're going to need to do that. So you would go up, print the form. Once you have that form, you can close that, and it takes you back to the customer forms tab. You would then do that for all of them. You can print all of the documents out, take those documents to the customer, have them get them signed, come back and click Upload Printed, select the files, and you would go in and select that file that you would scan into your computer once you get back to the office. So you have the signed customer form, scan it into into your one of your folders, and then select that document and click Upload. And now it uploads that and completes the job. All right. How does this affect our Radco audit for Nemita paperwork? The Nemita documents are submitted using the reporting, the label use form. So, and again, I'm not sure who does that, but by clicking reporting and label use, this shows all of the jobs that were completed and any labels that were destroyed in the process. It allows you to click a button to select whichever ones or deselect whichever ones you want. And by selecting view report, It then opens up it automatically fills out the monthly summary use form, the log form, and each individual NMITA label form as well for each job that's being submitted. By then selecting submit report, it submits all of that documentation to NMITA. So all of the NMITA documentation goes that direction. As far as the rest of the NMITA documentation, the inspection forms and all are all built into the system. The make and operative, the vehicle delivery receipt, those are all a part of these open jobs and customer forms. And again, if needed for Radco to print those, you can go into the job that they're looking at and print those off from there. I know there was an issue with one Radco inspector that wanted them in the files as compared to being having them available online. That's going to be an issue we're working through with NMITA right now. It asks, are you saying that the CMC is completing the make and operative form? Most CMCs don't know the codes, etc. There should be a service function. I apologize. I'm not saying that any one particular person does any one particular job in your shop. Those are all shop issues. What I wanted you to do is kind of go through and show you how these are done. So if the service manager typically does that, they could fill out that form, get it ready for signing, but when you're sitting down with the customer, then you would pull up that form that's filled out already by your service manager and go through the signing process with the customer. Either electronically using the Topaz signature pad or printing and having them sign it that way. So however your process works, the service manager has access to all of this. You have access to all of this, so either one can perform whatever function is necessary. Will we have our own login? Yes, you will. Each CMC will have their own login. Get with either your service manager or your general manager to get set up in the system, and they can program you. Will we be adding warranty registration and FSS paperwork in the future? We are open to all of those items. We do not have a plan to add an additional form right now. If there are forms that are used on a regular basis, then that is pulling this same information, let us know, because we have the ability to create those as well. The buttons across the top, you can edit your own account once you're set up and change your password if necessary. Open jobs is where you're going to be going for all of the forms. But this help screen over here, we have a support website that you can jump to that has the website user manual. Click on this and it'll download the website user manual. We also have a tablet manual in here as well. There's a search button. You can say, how do I do this? How do I do that? That will help with a lot of the frequently asked questions that are in, and we're constantly adding more information to that as well. If you need the toll-free support line, you can call this toll-free support line, and they will walk you through a lot of different things, or you could email support or create a ticket online and they can follow up with you. So whatever is most convenient for you, all of these help options are available by just selecting the help screen. Thank you for your time. I look forward to working with you on the DOCUTRACK. Thank you.